Hello and welcome to a video tutorial on how to configure our bioreaders to store a template onto a MyFair smart card and to use that template with card and finger authentication through GuardPoint Pro. I'll also show you the format that you need to be setting, the miscellaneous badge format you need to be setting for our SF readers once you've configured them with the config card to MyFair. So the bioreader is a MyFair bioreader, and the card reader is also now a MyFair card reader. So first of all, you load up BioStar and you make sure you've got a connection with the bioreader. So you go to device, make sure you're in the tree there, we've got a good connection, and once we have, we can see this part of the screen. So on this part of the screen, what we need to have a look at is, because we want to use card and finger, we set this to always. Once that's done, and you come down to private auth, that's always needs to be on enable. Card reading mode is MyFair template. Format's Wiegand. You needn't worry about this part. And then if we go over to Wiegand, what we need to do now is change the format of the way that the card's being read. So we go to click on change format there, and we need to have a pass-through Wiegand format. So we click on next, and what we need to do here is put in there 34 and click apply, and you'll see this grow to 34 bits. Okay, so once we've done that, what we need to do, we need to disregard the first and the end bit, so everything else needs to be marked with an I. So we can just run through this quickly, marking all these with an I. Now that's done, we just double check. The last bit and the first bit aren't being read. So now we click on to next. Again, we ignore this, we don't touch this at all, and then we click on to next again, and then finish. And now what we can see is, we can see that the first and the last bit are being ignored, and all the bits in between are the ones that are going to be used. Once we've done that, we can click on apply, and that's going to write what we needed to the bioreader. So another important setting here is the Wiegand card. There's three settings: disabled, user and card. It needs to be set on card for what we want to achieve. So once we've done that, we can then come down to GuardPoint Pro, because we need to make a setting change in the INI. So if we just delete out of BioStar and come to GuardPoint Pro, find the INI, and once that's loaded up, what we're going to do is search, Control F, search for the word template. Now, this is the setting that we're concerned with. BioStar template to card, meaning it's going to save your fingerprint template to the card and not the bioreader. Mine at the moment is set to 1. When it comes default, this will be set to 0. So what you need to do there is make that change to 1 and then save. Once you've saved that, we can fire up GuardPoint Pro. It's just going to load up, enter the password. So before we start registering the bio template to the card, what we're going to need to do is change the SF reader to it'll become a default. What we need to do is change it to format 15. So if we go in, I've got mine set on reader 2, my bioreader set on reader 1, you see there, bioreader. Reader 2 is my SF card reader, which is now, having passed the config card, it's now set up to read MyFair. So miscellaneous badge format, it would come as hexadecimal. What we need to do is put this on format 15. Once you've put it on format 15, you want to be clicking save. I'm going to initialize the controller now, just to make sure that those commands have been sent to the controller. while we're in this screen, I'm also going to initialize the bioreader. So just do a quick initialization complete on the controller. Okay, so as the command's been sent, now I'm going to look on to the biometric reader. So here's my biometric reader network, and that's my biometric reader. I'm going to initialize this. So just make sure that it's got the correct settings. I find when we're doing this sometimes you might get a pending, so I always just double check back and then click send pending, and then that should send any pending events to the bioreader. Once that's done, click on again and we see everything's gone off to the bioreader now. So that part I'm going to close, and then I'm going to come on to register a card. So I'm going to remove this card that Alex has got there and save it, and now I'm going to create I'm also going to delete that card from there, just so there's no confusion, and I'm going to delete all non-allocated cards. Okay, so but back to registering the card. So Alex needs a card, so I'm going to register Alex's card number, usual method get from card, and this is going to be done on the SF MyFair reader. So we can see his cards come in there. I'm going to click OK, save, and then save again, and now we can see that Alex has that card. So if I was to pass that card now, Alex has got entry on reader 2. So next thing to do would be to issue Alex with his fingerprint and then save that to the card. So we go into Biometric Data. Just before I do that, I'm just going to show you a setting on the bioreader which is important, which you need to follow. On the fingerprint tab, you can see that when you click the get address, I'll get that's my unit address of the bioreader. We've got active and we're using it as an enrollment reader. The operation mode there is MyFair Smart Card fingerprint only, and the Wiegand format we're using is custom HID 37 bits, 32 bits. So it's important that you get your screen looking exactly the same as that. Once we've done that, then we can go about getting the fingerprint onto the card, or enrolling the fingerprint first and then putting that on the card. So click the biometrics data, you get the enrollment screen. So the smart card enrollment screen is going to be set to, we've only got one at the moment, but if you have many, then the enrollment reader you're going to use, this is where you'd put for where you were going to pass the smart card to write that template to the smart card. And the finger enrollment reader again is the one you're going to use to enroll the finger. So first of all, I'm going to check the card to see if it's got any fingerprints on it. And it's telling me that that smart card contains some fingerprint templates. So my next thing to do would be to delete that and format the smart card. So again, click delete and then pass my card over the device. That's going to remove it as it's telling me the MyFair card's been formatted. Next thing to be doing is to enroll the fingerprint. So click enroll, go over to the bioreader, place your finger on, and then place another finger. So now it's taken in my fingerprints. So what my next thing to do would be to click save. When I do this, it's going to ask me to put my card on the reader again, and it's going to send that template to sit on the MyFair smart card. So I click save, place the card on the device, and it's going to ask me to do it once more. And now we're getting the template stored in card successfully. So once we've done that, we can exit out. And just click save again and then come out of that. I'm going to clear the log just so we can see that this has worked. So first of all, I'm going to pass over the SF reader just to prove that we're using the same card and we're getting the same numbers on both readers. So there you can see we've got an access granted from Alex from reader 2, which is the SF MyFair reader, and now onto the bio reader. First of all, I'll pass my card and then it'll prompt me by flashing yellow to put my finger on. So what it's actually doing is checking that the card, which has got my template on, is the same as what my finger that I'm going to put on the bio reader after I pass the card. So now it's flashing yellow, and that's giving me an access granted from reader 1, which is the bio card. So I'll just do that again. First of all, SF card reader, access granted from reader 2, and now on the bio reader. And again we've got an access granted. So I'll just quickly run over the settings once more for the readers. So don't forget we've got an SF MyFair reader, and we've also got a MyFair bio reader. So we're just going to go back into readers. We're just going to check these settings once more in GuardPoint Pro. So on the reader screen, reader 1 set to biometrics, Supreme Bioentry Plus. Importantly, miscellaneous badge format is set to hex. Fingerprint Wiegand format, custom HID 37 bits, ID 32 bits in brackets, and we have this selected MyFair smart card fingerprint only. So now to reader 2, miscellaneous badge format, format 15. It needs to be on format 15 for these numbers to correlate, or you'll be getting different numbers. So that's the important thing. It's also probably quite important to do this prior to setting up. It's something you do at the beginning of the install rather than at the end. You don't want to. If you do this afterwards, you're going to have to re-register the cards again, which could be a bit of a pain. So there we go. Thanks for listening. Bye bye.